Welcome back to our channel, where we talk about rare coins, their history, and their value in today's market. In this video, we're diving deep into one of the most collected and iconic coins in American history, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may have one sitting at home right now, and it could be worth a lot more than just a single cent. Let's explore what makes the 1940 penny so special, its hidden details, rare errors, and how much it's truly worth today. Let's begin with a little history. The Lincoln 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Before that, U.S. pennies featured the image of Lady Liberty. When Lincoln appeared on the coin, it marked the first time a real person was featured on a regular issue U.S. coin. This design change was a big deal and made the Lincoln cent instantly popular. By 1940, the Lincoln wheat penny had already become a staple in American pockets. The obverse side shows a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, Liberty on the left, and the date 1940 on the right. The reverse side features two wheat stalks on the sides and the words 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum on top. And now let's talk about the 1940 penny in more detail. In 1940, the U.S. Mint struck Lincoln cents at three different locations: Philadelphia, with no mint mark; Denver, with a small D mint mark below the date; San Francisco, with a small S mint mark below the date. The Philadelphia Mint produced the most that year, over 586 million coins. Denver produced over 81 million, while San Francisco minted around 112 million. Because so many were made, a regular 1940 penny that's been in circulation isn't usually considered rare. But the condition of the coin and certain errors can make it extremely valuable. Let's now discuss the coin's current market value. A common 1940 Lincoln penny in circulated condition is usually worth around 5 to 10 cents. Not much, right? But if your coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, meaning it looks almost brand new with no scratches or wear, its value can rise significantly. For example, a 1940 penny graded MS-65 read by a professional grading service like PCGS can be worth anywhere from $10 to $50 or more. But that's just the beginning. Some rare specimens of the 1940 penny have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auction. One 1940s penny in brilliant red uncirculated condition sold for over $3,000. Another from Denver sold for around $1,500 because of its strong strike and pristine condition. Now let's talk about rare errors, because this is where things get really interesting. Collectors love error coins because they're unique. Some known errors on the 1940 Lincoln penny include a double die obverse. This happens when the coin is struck more than once with a slight shift, making the date or letters look double off-center strike. The coin design is not properly centered, which can be quite dramatic. And valuable die cracks or die breaks, raised lines on the coin caused by damage to the die. BIE errors, where a die crack between the B and E in Liberty forms what looks like a capital I. Coins with these types of errors can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s, depending on the severity and condition. A clear, dramatic double die error can even go for over $1,000. If you have a 1940 penny and want to know its value, here are a few tips. First, check the mint mark. Coins from San Francisco and Denver may carry more value in higher grades. Second, look at the color. Collectors often categorize Lincoln cents as red, red-brown, or brown. Full red coins are the most valuable. Third, examine the condition. If it has no scratches, strong luster, and looks new, it could be worth grading. Lastly, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or take it to a coin shop or grading service for evaluation. So, what's the takeaway? A 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny might just be an ordinary coin in your collection, but under the right circumstances, it could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Whether it's a mint state beauty, a rare error, or a valuable red specimen, this little copper coin has a big story and could be a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins worth big money, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment if you have a 1940 penny or want us to review a coin in your collection. We'd love to hear your story. See you in the next video, and happy collecting! Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and historical coins you might find in your change jar, the 1956 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, that humble little coin with the face of Abraham Lincoln might be worth more than just 1 cent. In fact, depending on its condition and mint mark, this coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's market. So sit back and get ready, because we're about to explore the history, hidden details, and current market value of the 1956 Lincoln penny, and why it's a coin that every collector should pay attention to. Let's start with the history. The 1956 Lincoln penny is part of the wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This means it features the classic wheat ear design on the reverse side. On the front is, of course, the image of President Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. This coin was minted during the post-World War II era when America was growing rapidly. In 1956, two primary mints produced these coins, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while coins minted in Denver bear the D mint mark just below the date. How many were made? Now here's something important. The mintage numbers of the 1956 Lincoln penny were quite high. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 420 million pennies. The Denver Mint produced over 1 billion pennies with the D mint mark, with over a billion coins minted. The 1956 D penny is not considered rare in average condition. But, and here's the key, certain errors and uncirculated examples can be extremely valuable. What to look for in a valuable 1956 penny? So, how do you know if your 1956 penny is worth real money? Here are the main things collectors look for. 1. Mint mark and condition. The coin's condition is one of the biggest factors. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they were never used in daily commerce, can sell for much higher prices than worn examples. If your coin still has full details, sharp lettering, and a bright, lustrous shine, it could be graded as mint state, and that makes a huge difference. Point 2. The D mint mark variety. Most 1956 D pennies are common. But there's a rare version known as the D over D mint mark error. This is when the mint mark was accidentally punched twice, slightly misaligned. These errors are highly sought after by collectors. Point 3. Double die errors. Double die errors happen during the minting process when the coin die shifts slightly between strikes. This can cause doubling in the letters or numbers, especially in words like liberty or the date 1956. Some double die obverse 1956 pennies have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction. Current market value in 2025. Now, let's talk about what you all really want to know. How much money can you actually get for your 1956 penny in today's market? In circulated condition, the kind of coin you might find in pocket change, a 1956 penny is usually worth around 2 to 10 cents. But here's where it gets exciting. A 1956 Lincoln penny in MS65 red condition, that's a brilliant, uncirculated coin with full red color, can sell for around $20 to $40 depending on the market. A 1956 D Lincoln penny with the D over D error, especially in high grade, has sold for over $150 to $300 at auctions. A rare double die error in MS condition could reach $500 or more, depending on its rarity and the demand at the time. And remember, coins that are professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC usually bring in the highest values. Tips for coin collectors and sellers: if you think you have a 1956 Lincoln penny that might be valuable, here's what you should do. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass to check for doubling, mint mark errors, or signs of high quality condition. Compare your coin with reference images online to identify any rare varieties. Consider having the coin graded by a professional service, especially if it appears to be in mint state. Stay up to date on auction results and market trends, because coin values can change over time depending on collector interest. Conclusion: the 1956 Lincoln penny might not look like much at first glance, but with the right details and condition, it could be a valuable treasure hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keeping an eye out for wheat pennies like the 1956 1-cent coin is always a smart idea. So next time you go through your change, don't just toss those pennies aside. Check the date, look for errors, and who knows, you might just be holding a small piece of history worth big money. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you don't miss our next deep dive into rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment below if you have a 1956 penny or any other coin you want us to talk about. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck treasure hunting, where we talk about rare coins, valuable finds, and treasures you might have in your pocket change right now. Today's video is all about the famous 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. That's right, this small copper coin could be worth way more than just 1 cent. So if you have a jar of old pennies lying around, this is the video you don't want to miss. Let's dive deep into the story of the 1957 1-cent penny, the coin that carries the image of one of America's greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln. We're going to uncover what makes this penny so special, the key features that make it valuable, and how much it's really worth today in the collector's market. Let's begin. Soft transition sound voiceover. First things first, the 1957 penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. These coins are easily recognizable because of the wheat stalks on the back, which symbolize prosperity and the American farm spirit. Now, the 1957 penny was minted in two major varieties, the 1957 with no mint mark, which was made in Philadelphia, and the 1957D, which was struck in Denver. Combined, over 1.5 billion Lincoln pennies were minted that year. That's a huge number. So at first glance, you might think these coins aren't rare at all, but here's where it gets interesting. Just because a coin is common doesn't mean it isn't valuable. What matters is the condition, errors, and rarity of certain varieties. Some 1957 pennies have been sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. Why? Let's take a closer look. Voiceover, let's talk condition. If you have a 1957 penny that is heavily circulated, scratched, or worn out, it's probably only worth its face value or a couple of cents due to its copper content. But if you have a coin in uncirculated condition, also called mint state, things change dramatically. A 1957 penny in mint state 60 condition might sell for around $1 to $3. But when you get into the higher mint state grades like MS65, MS66, or even MS67, the value can skyrocket. A 1957D penny graded MS67 red has sold for over $150 at auction. And some examples have even crossed the $1,000 mark when perfectly preserved with a full red luster. Now imagine finding one of those in your old coin jar. Voiceover, but here's where it gets even better. Errors. Some 1957 pennies are valuable because they contain minting errors, and collectors go crazy for those. We're talking about double die errors, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These kinds of coins are not only rare, but each one is unique, making them more desirable to collectors. A 1957 Lincoln penny with a strong double die on the obverse, where the date or lettering appears doubled, could fetch hundreds of dollars depending on the condition. A coin with a dramatic off-center strike or other major error could also bring in a hefty price. Voiceover, and now let's talk about today's market value. As of this year, the average collector value for a 1957 penny in circulated condition is around 5 to 15 cents. Not bad for a coin that was originally worth only 1 cent. In higher uncirculated grades, values range from $1 to $20, depending on the color of the coin, red, red-brown, or brown. Remember, red coins are the most valuable because they retain their original mint luster. Certified examples graded by PCGS or NGC and MS67 red can be worth $100 to $500 or more, especially if the coin is perfectly struck with no blemishes or marks. And don't forget about the 1957D repunched mint mark varieties. These can go for $50 to $200 depending on the sharpness of the error and overall quality. Voiceover, so what should you do if you have a 1957 penny? First, check the mint mark. Look for the D under the date. Then, examine it under a magnifying glass for any signs of doubling, repunched marks, or strange shapes. If you think you have something rare, don't clean the coin, that can ruin its value. Instead, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if you don't find a super rare variety, collecting these older Lincoln wheat pennies is a fun and rewarding hobby. And who knows? That 1957 penny you almost tossed might be worth more than you think. Voiceover, so there you have it, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, a tiny piece of history that might just be a hidden treasure. From common copper coin to rare collector's prize, it's proof that you never know what you'll find in your change. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on valuable coin tips and hidden gems. Drop a comment below and tell us if you found any 1957 pennies in your collection. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coin hunting!